All right, today we're going to be doing 2.3, which is still solving equations. We're now just going to start to see more like terms that we're going to have to combine. Okay, so for the first problem here, the first thing that I want you to notice is that we have two m's. Okay, we have two different variables. And if you notice, we want to pay attention to their relationship to the equal sign. So both of these variables are on the same side of the equal sign, okay? That being said, before I can get the m by itself, I first have to make it 1m. If we think about our target example from yesterday, how am I supposed to aim at two different targets at the same time? I can't. I have to put them together, okay? So we are going to combine our like terms. Make sure when we combine like terms, we take into consideration the sign in front of them. So I have 5m and 2m, which gives me 7m. I bring down my minus 23 and my equals 5. Okay? So all we did was combine like terms. Now this problem looks a lot like what we did yesterday. Okay? Now I'm just trying to get m by itself. Okay? So I work at what's farthest away first, or I do my addition and subtraction first. So I'm going to add 23 to both sides. So I get 28 equals 7m. Then 7 times m, so I need to get rid of the 7. I'm going to divide by 7. I get m equals 4. Okay? Now remember, we can check our answer. So let's take our 4. And we're going to plug it back in to both spots in my problem. Okay, so I have 5 times 4 minus 23 plus 2 times 4. Okay, so now let's just simplify. Okay, so I have 20 minus 23 plus 8. Okay, so this would give me a negative 3 plus 8, which would give me a 5. So I'm correct. All right, go ahead and try this next one. All right, so when you try this one, remember the first step is we're going to combine our like terms, okay? So here's a term and here's a term. Again, notice that I took into consideration the negative out front, the 6. Okay, so when I combine these, I'm going to get 5x minus 8 equals 22. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So I have 30 equals 5x. Divide both sides by 5. I have x equals 6. Okay? All right, problem number 2. It says Martha takes her niece and nephew to a concert. She buys 7 t-shirts and a bumper sticker for them. The bumper stickers cost $1 each. Martha's niece wants 1 shirt and 4 bumper stickers, and her nephew wants 2 shirts, but not bumper stickers. If Martha's total is $67, what is the cost of 1 shirt? So remember, find your question at the end, okay? That's what's going to tell you what your variable is, okay? So what am I asking you to find? The cost of a shirt. So let's make C equal cost of a shirt. Okay. All right, so now let's set up our equation. Okay. So we have Martha and her niece and nephew. Okay. She's going to buy t-shirts and bumper stickers for them. I'm told that a bumper sticker costs $1 each. I'm also told that Martha's niece wants 1 shirt and 4 bumper stickers, and that her nephew wants 2 shirts but no bumper stickers. Okay? All right, so let's think about shirts for a second because that's my variable. Okay? So Martha's niece wants 1 shirt. Okay? So if I'm thinking about that in terms of my variable, I would have 1 times C. Okay? Her nephew wants 2 shirts. Okay? So I'm going to do 2C, okay, for her nephew. Now, I can't forget the bumper stickers. The bumper stickers are $1 each, okay? So, she's buying $1 for every bumper sticker she buys. but we're told she buys 4 bumper stickers. So let's do times 4. Plus this, what the nephew gets, equals our total of 67. All right, so now let's simplify. So I have 1C plus 4 plus 2C equals 67. I'm going to combine my like terms. So now I have a 1C and a 2C, so I have 3C, 3 shirts total, plus 4 equals 67. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. So I have 3C equals 63. Divide both sides by 3. And when we do that, we should get 21. Write your sentence. The cost of a shirt is $21. Okay. All right. Moving along. I'm going to skip this word problem in our video, but you can find the answers to this one in our notes key on Schoology. All right, problem number 3. What is the solution? Okay, so now what do we notice? Well, when I look at this problem, I notice that I have some parentheses. Got some parentheses going on. So when we have parentheses, we're going to distribute. Okay, distribute. So I'm going to give this -8 to both things inside. And those arrows tell me multiplication. Okay, so I have -8 times 2x, which gives me a -16x. Then I have -8 times -1. So be careful there. Think about that. -8 times -1 gives me a +8 equals 36. Okay, now let's keep going. Here's my variable. I'm going to try to get it by itself. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. We should get 28. Then we do 28 divided by 16. And we're going to get a decimal, and that's okay. We're going to get a -1.75, okay, for x. All right, try our next one. Okay, so for this one, first step, remember, was to distribute. So I have 6x minus 18, bring everything else down. Now I'm trying to get x by itself. So I'm going to add 18 to both sides. Those go away. I'm left with 36. Bring down my 6x. Now it's multiplication, so I'm going to divide. So I have x equals 6. Very nice. All right, moving right along. I think, we got 2 more problems. 2 more pages. All right, so now we see a fraction, okay? When I'm looking at this fraction, I first notice that I have different denominators. So, okay, I also have 2 different variables. Okay, couple ways we can do this, okay? The first way you could do it is you could rewrite these fractions so that they have the same denominator, okay? We could get common denominator, okay? Or we can pick a number to multiply by the whole equation to just eliminate all of the denominators. So for example, look at my 2 denominators here. What are these both a factor of? Okay, so in other words, 4 times 2 is 8. Is 3 a factor of 8? No. So that one won't work. Okay. The next one up is actually our answer. It's 12. I'm going to multiply the whole equation by 12. Everything. Put the whole thing in parentheses. Okay. This reminds me that I'm doing this times 12, this times 12, and my 10 times 12. Okay. All right, so when we do that, let's see what happens. Okay, so I have 12 times 3/4 x minus 12 times x over 3 equals 12 times 10. All right. Here, let's cross simplify. This becomes a 1, that becomes a 3, so I'm left with 9x. That becomes a 4, that becomes a 1, so I have 4x equals 120. Okay. Now this problem looks a lot nicer, right? This looks a lot easier to manage. So now let's just combine our like terms. 9 minus 4 gives me 5x equals 120. Divide both sides by 5. I get x equals 40. Okay? Go ahead and try the next one. All right, for this one, we're going to multiply everything by 18. 18 is my closest number here, okay? So I'm going to do 18 times 1/9, 18 times 5/6, 18 times m over 3, okay? So 18 times 1/9, 18 times 5/6, 18 times m over 3. All right, so my first one, that becomes a 1, that becomes a 2. I'm left with 2 equals 15 minus 6m. Let's simplify. Minus 15 on both sides. So I'm left with a 13 equals negative 6m. Divide everything by negative 6. And I get negative 2.1667. So repeating, let's make that into a nicer fraction. Or negative 13 over 6. All right, last one's here. We're just dealing with some decimals, okay? So this one actually is pretty simple. We're going to draw our line down. Here's my variable. I'm trying to get it by itself. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3.5. Why am I subtracting? Because there's no sign here, so we know technically it's a positive. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 3.5 from both sides. So let's see, I have 1.24 minus 3.5. Negative 2.26 is negative 0.02x. Don't lose that negative when you bring it down. Now we divide everything by negative 0.02. And we get x equals 113. All right, try our last one for the day. Okay, draw your line down. Here's my variable. So I'm going to first add 2.325 to both sides. So we've got 3.95 plus 2.325. I get 6.275. Bring down the rest. Now I'm going to divide everything by 0.5. And get y equals 12.55. And that is it.